What's up, YouTube? Lord Zath with another episode of Zath's Replay Theater. And we're in ranked again. This time looking at Invader Zim in his Bismarck. And you can see that I don't know what ranks everybody is at this point, but my guess is it's probably the 10 to 5 bracket, maybe 5 to 2. And so looking at destroyers, Loyang, Harakaze, Kagero, they're both pretty even there. Benson, Z23 are a little bit of a difference. Z23 has that extra hydro, and the Benson, of course, has the torpedoes and stuff like that.
Action stations.
So I'm going to do the characteristic screenshots here, and then we'll get into the bat. Hope everybody had a great New Year's, all that good stuff. And Zim is using the special Bismarck camo with the that was released a while back. I really do enjoy this camo. I think it's very I just think it's really cool. I believe it's supposed to be kind of like, you know, the battle damage and stuff from the engagement with the hood. And all that good stuff in the old hunt for the Bismarck. Ew. And then we've got the Monarch with that permanent camo. Just trying to see if there's any other angles I want to get here. Yeah, I can get one with the Harakaze and the Bismarck in the background, because that's kind of fun. Never mind. Chapayev. Yeah. It's all good. Let's just start the game and see what happens, shall we? Alright, so let's talk a little bit about flags. So, of course, Zim is using fire reduction, repair booster. This is flooding time reduction. He's got the secondaries flag, and he's got the consumables flag. So all the kinds of things that you would want to see with a with a brawling battleship. The only things I might add, maybe the ramming flag. I don't know. Maybe the anti-air flag. But any case, we've got premium consumables, that's important. And there's already some discussion here about where people are going. So they said one person takes A, the rest go to C. And so that's the plan. See how it shapes up. Now, while we're waiting, let's go back and take a look at the fleet composition. So, Chapayev's got radar, New Orleans has radar, Kutuzov has smoke, Otago has heal. So basically, each of these cruisers has something that they bring to the team. The question is, which team will be able to utilize it the most, right? Kutuzov with the smoke, probably very selfish with that. Otago with the heal, possibly also very selfish. Monarch versus North Carolina. Well, between these two ships, North Carolina is probably the better option. I don't really know that the Monarch is that. I mean, I didn't really like the Monarch myself when I ground the ship. I don't know that it's that powerful in ranked. I mean, it's got good concealment if you build for concealment, but that's only good until you fire your first salvo. Now, we also see some communication here with the chat here. Zim asking if anybody has radio location, which is good to find out. And you can see that all three of the destroyers went to C, went to A and grabbed the cap really quick, which is good. Interestingly enough, nobody is watching the flank over here, so we'll have to see what happens there. And Zim is taking the long approach around the island along with the cruisers. And this is something that I see a lot of people kind of screw up when they play this map. They go more aggressive like into here. And the reason why he's going back behind the island is because it keeps him farther away should he be spotted, and then obviously you don't want to be DPM'd. I like how one destroyer says he's going to go spot in the mid, and the other guys are like, well, hold off for a sec because we're all right behind the island, so we can't do anything. And that's important. You want to make sure as a destroyer, if you're going to risk your health to spot something, you need to make sure that your team is aware of this and ready to back you up. And there's some initial spotting on destroyers. Zim taking aim. Looks like he's shooting at the Kagero. Please ignore this this bug. Something that got put in with the recent patch. Ooh, he actually hit him. Full pen, 3,000 damage. Now, Zim's got a number here, so we know that he's using priority target to get an idea of how many people are focusing him. So he knows that there are 3 ships looking at him, most likely the Kutuzov, most likely Bismarck, and then the question is, what else could it be? Probably the North Carolina, my guess. Zim takes a pretty big hit there, but he kind of had to. He's turning away now. Because what he's thinking is that the North Carolina is over here, right? So, staying the angle he was, then he was broadside to the North Carolina and risked taking a pretty heavy penetrating shot. So, that's the reason why he turned out. And now take a look at C. There's a destroyer party in C. The Loyang has it locked down with Hydro, but the enemy Loyang is there too. And so what you end up having is what I kind of expected to see this season, where you get 2 Loyangs next to each other, just angrily shaking fists at each other through Hydro. And they can't even really do much, because if they stay out in the open, they're just gonna get killed. Like this Loyang. He didn't stay behind an island. Their Loyang is behind an island, right? So, yeah. That's unfortunate. Big disadvantage. And then now look, the other 2 are ganging up on the Z-23. At least the Z-23 has Hydro too, so these 2 destroyers are being detected still, right? And see, look, now there's the Kutuzov. Can the Monarch kill the Kutuzov? Let's take a look. And there's the North Carolina. We're gonna leave Zim for a little bit here, and we're gonna take a look at what's happening with this Monarch, because this Monarch, I think, has made some really big mistakes. So, for whatever reason, he's turned around, right? And it looks like, yeah, he was going for shots on the Kutuzov, but that time has passed. The Kutuzov is now in smoke. Yes, you can pop. I think he's got a plane he can pop. I think it's a spotter plane, so you can pop that and take a look and see. Maybe hit the Kutuzov in smoke, but I don't know. This guy's got speed flags, interestingly enough. That might be useful for Zim as well, for any battleship really, especially in rank, to get to places quicker. All right, so we're gonna kind of watch what happens over here, because I think this engagement is very important. The engagement at sea, of course, is important too, but I just kind of feel like it's either gonna fizzle out or I don't know. I don't think that's as important as what's happening here. So let's take a look. So the Monarch is angling to the North Carolina, which is good. But now he's going back. I see. What I would have done if I was the Monarch is I would have probably dove right into the island here. I would have essentially charged North Carolina and gone straight into the island. By doing what he's doing right now, he's allowing himself to take hits by the North Carolina, and he's also allowing himself to be farmed by the Kutuzov. Both are really bad. So I'm not sure what this Monarch is hoping to accomplish. Looking back at the other side at sea, we can see that sea cap is still Heavily contested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He even allowed himself to get torpedoed. Alright, there's the Kutuzov. Chapayev kills the Kagero. Good. Is he seriously loading HE? Did I see HE coming out of this guy? Oh, and a New Orleans. Alright, so that enables them to get oh my god, he's firing HE. Why am I sighing, guys? Because this is just... Alright, the British battleship line is famous for their good HE, right? Their high chance of fire and high alpha damage. The Monarch is unique in that its AP is really good and its HE is pretty lackluster. So I'm sighing because of that, first of all. Why are you wasting your time with HE? And second, he had a broadside Kutuzov. You always AP that stuff. So this Monarch basically just allowed himself to get farmed. He took the torp, he took fires, he took shots from the North Carolina. I really don't know what he incented to do other than just sit there and die, which is very unfortunate. That's a huge hit. Now, Zim's team, they've got all 3 destroyers killed, right? And you can see that their Bismarck is kind of off in the distance. So I think they're okay. Let's take a look at the chat, see what's going on with the chat. Asking Zim to book it to B. Okay. So that might be what Zim's doing. We know the Bismarck. Yeah, Zim is looking to help out. Although I'm surprised you're going for the New Orleans instead of the Kutuzov. Maybe because he's reversing and slower. So, easier hit, but you missed. Anyway. Bismarck is back again, and you just have to kind of hope at this point that the Bismarck can be killed by the Z-23 and the Chapayev working together. Alright, so he waited that point. You saw that the Kutuzov was smoking up, so he waited for the opportunity to shoot the Chapayev. Zim's secondaries are going off, so we know he has secondary build. And there's a North Carolina coming, which can cause some problems, but the North Carolina is sitting broadside to him, so yay. Yay! Now, look at the Atago. I don't know what the Atago is trying to do other than get himself killed. It looks like he beached. Anyway, back to Zim. Zim is turning out now. He doesn't want to brawl all that stuff, which I can't blame him. Can he make the turn before the North Carolina salvo? Looks like he did. Good, he's checking the other Bismarck. What's going on with that guy? Things are not looking good for you, my friend. I'll bet right now you were wishing you had a Tirpitz. Because then you could torpedo him. Next heal is up. High caliber. So by turning out, what Zim's doing, or did, was basically reduce the number of people that could shoot him. So instead of... Oh, this is risky. Instead of having all the 2 cruisers and the North Carolina shooting him, now it's just the North Carolina. So North Carolina is a little bit out of position there. There's 2 people targeting him. North Carolina whiffs. Nice.
battleship.
Now this is huge. He's still alive. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. He's still alive, and he's detected. Okay, so the New Orleans is chasing him. I'm sure Zim is looking at that and saying, okay. Gotta repair that heel, or repair that fire. Whoa!
Severely damaged.
If only your front turrets were also in there, huh? Nice.
Enemy cruiser foundered.
Zim going for the island. Now this is huge because he can heal up now. Nope, he can't. Oh jeez. Okay, well now it's Kutuzov and Bismarck versus Chapayev, Tago. I disagree with Falco here. Don't die, we have points. They have 2 caps. Z23 is going for B cap. See if I can move around with the replay. There we go. So I'm a little unhappy with the lack of teamwork. Kutuzov sitting in smoke and looking to farm the Atago a little. Okay, so this is good. They're capturing both points. But now the Chapayev, look at the Chapayev. Why are you shooting?
Our victory is in sight.
Hey guys, here's a lesson too for people. When you're in a cruiser, just because you can take the shot doesn't mean that you should take the shot, right? I mean you're just asking to be shot at by a battleship. And I mean, I know it's a Bismarck, so you're probably thinking you can bounce the shells, but why take the risk? I don't know. And I don't like the idea, too, that you're giving up your position for this. Kutuzov is entering... Oh, no, that's the Bismarck. Entering B cap. So that Z-23 has to remain unspotted, right? But look, see, now the Kutuzov has shots on him, I think. I don't know. I don't like... Nope, Kutuzov doesn't because he went after the Atago. Nice. Okay, so the Z-23 got the Bismarck. So this is probably going to be a win. Kutuzov should be showing... or shooting... probably shooting AP there. Wow. So here we see a game where Zim basically was doing the proper part of the battleship, and what I mean by that is looking at the minimap. He started off kind of staying in the backfield with the cruisers while the destroyers went and did their job. He supported the destroyers. He fired at least 2 or 3 salvos at destroyers, 1 here, and then I think 2 in Sea Cap itself. And I think that's important. We see a lot of battleships that don't shoot the destroyers even from long range. So that was a big difference. He did not chase the Bismarck that was over here. Instead, recognizing the bigger threat, which would be the North Carolina, the Kutuzov, and the New Orleans that were over here, and he went to try to deal with it. He ultimately died and paid the price for it. However, he took out the North Carolina with the help of the Atago and I think a couple other ships. And he took out almost single-handedly that New Orleans, both of which were huge gains. I don't know what the New Orleans was thinking when he tried to chase you down, I think he should have stayed with the Kutuzov and basically done what he was doing. But that's okay. It's too late. Honestly, what he should have done is he should have chased after the Atago and killed him. That being said, you went down to Bismarck fire because Bismarck was going down, the Chapayev was running from the Bismarck, the Atago was running, so essentially you were the only one being focused, which, you know, it happens, you're a battleship, so. So what are our key takeaways from the battle? Let's see, first of all, if you're any ship, I think a battleship especially, you want to try to reduce your chances of being shot at, or at least who's going to be shooting at you. So we saw Zim dive behind this island here to get cover. Unfortunately, he got nailed by the Bismarck, but had that Bismarck not been there, he would have been safe, able to heal up. We saw the Monarch do the opposite. He had no cover because he was spotted about here, and for whatever reason, instead of diving into the island, he decided to go this way to allow North Carolina to shoot him and to allow the Kutuzov to even torpedo him, which is interesting because if the Kutuzov torpedoed him, that means the Kutuzov was within 8 kilometers. Well, actually no, because he was advancing, so that would have been 8.5, 9 kilometers, so that was probably extreme range of his torpedoes. In any case, so we saw the Monarch, and then finally the Monarch also shot HE instead of AP. So we saw a lot of mistakes by the Monarch. We saw mistakes by the Lo Yang. The Lo Yang didn't get cover here. Just because you have the Hydro doesn't mean that you are invincible. And so and that Lo Yang died. I don't know how the Harikaze died over here at sea somewhere. The Z-23, hats off to him for staying alive and to also for using his Hydro to keep, I believe at the time it was the Benson and Lo Yang spotted in sea. That, I think, was a key to swing in the battle at sea cap. So, all in all, Zim, thank you for sending the ranked battle replay. This was quite the interesting replay, and boy, I'm sure your adrenaline was rushing a little bit, especially towards the end there. I know how frustrating it can be to play your hardest, right, and then end up watching your team fall apart. And there's nothing you can do except try chatting and getting them to stop. So, oh well, it happens. Anyway, thanks. Have a happy new year, everybody, and do the usual YouTube junk. Send me replays, all that good stuff, and I'll continue doing this work. Thanks. Take care.